Welcome to another weekly Hellraiser vlog. We've had a 2-3 week break from it, and in that time a lot's happened. And with us today obviously is Mickey Helliott, and he's going to tell us about Wadi Camacho and the whole situation there. Mickey,
Wadi Gate, known as Wadi Gate. So we used to have Wadi training in our gym. This gym here in Limehouse, which it's been open for about 1.5 years now. When I say we, me and Alan Edwards, my backer, financial backer, who owns a company called OISG, who sponsor us very generously and have done for some time now. You've often probably seen at Hellraiser shows their branding. He said, he goes, right Mick, we've got the backing in place financially, it's there, we're going to build this gym, it's going to be phenomenal, you tell me what you want in there. I went around the world, I go around the world with my boxers anyway, and been in lots of good gyms, and I picked out little things that I liked in all of them. If you go around the gym, you can see all the technology we've got in here, the glide box units, the box masks, all these different stuff, plus some traditional, like I'd say the very best of the traditional sort of training stuff. And actually put his money where his mouth was. So we built our gym. Here it is. We've got saunas, steam rooms, sports medical centre upstairs, massage, physios. I couldn't have dreamed of having, as a boxer, I certainly never had a gym like this. We put it together. It cost a big chunk of money, like I said, and a lot of outside just the pure finances. Hard work, I can tell you. We really, really toiled and strained and had to work hard to put it together. It was so stressful. Do you know what? Like with building, with all this different sort of meetings and travelling around and research to put it together, it was just like stress. We did that for a reason, because we want the boxers that we are managing, that we're backing, we want to give them the best possible setup so that they can achieve the highest level possible that they can. I'm a boxing manager. For me to be successful, I have to give the boxers that I manage the best opportunity. Now, part of the deal when they come here, it's not just, here you go, have a gym. They sign a management contract. It's quite straightforward. Here's your contract, sign it, you can train here. And they have to wear our branding. So they wear the advertising. They haven't put the money into the gym purely benevolently, it's put in for a reason, that they want some exposure, which they get from advertising on the shows, and it builds their brand. Fair enough. So when the boxers come, we have a meeting with them and we say to them, okay, this is the deal. You come here, you sign a management contract, you wear our branding, they have to do some things on social media, they have a few obligations that they have to fulfill. As a boxer, when I was boxing, I never got anywhere. I trained with the Olympic national boxing team. We never had anything like this. This was a pipe dream that I, at the beginning, thought was quite likely won't happen. I realised how much work it was, and we put it together. Most of the boxers, they come in, and we have a really nice vibe in the gym. Do you know what? All the boxers get on with each other. We said to them, look, we have rules in the gym. I just had 3 come in this morning that are signing up. One actually just trains down the road, and he's probably still going to be down there, but I said you can also use this. So look, rules in this gym is very easy to understand. Apart from the obligations you have to promote the branding, we have no lying, no bullshit like that, no lying, no conniving, and we're all straight with each other. We have to be, because we have to move forward as a unit, as a team. Boxing is not a team sport, but in this gym we are a team, we work together. And no on social media slagging each other off, putting anything negative. You've got a problem, you come in, you have a discussion, work it out, and we move on that way. With 99% of the guys that come in here, it works very well. Most of them are very grateful for the facility that they have here, and they comply with all the things that they've agreed to, and that's how we move forward. Wadi Camacho. So he came in, he said, agreed to sign a management deal, but didn't sign it there and then, and started training here. Then he then signed with another manager, which is fine, but it's up to him. Each box, even the boxers that I do manage, some of them don't want to have all the obligations of branding. You know, some of them have their own sponsors for good money, and they have to comply with what their sponsor wants, who's probably paying them wages and stuff like that. So that's fine. They go and train in whichever gym they want. Occasionally, they come and train here when it suits them, and it works well. Right. Okay. So then with Wadi. He signs with another manager, which I wasn't best pleased with because he'd given me an agreement that he's going to sign. But at the same time, I understand, right, boxing career is a short career, you've got to make your choices, and you sort of go from there. So he signs with another manager. We then went to purse bids. It's quite interesting because he actually then ended up boxing for less money from the purse bid than what I'd offered him in our first meeting. He tried. Look, ideally, I don't want people that I don't manage in here, so I wouldn't have had him training. But because the fight was coming up and it was our first show, we've got 10 dates booked at York Hall, and it was an amazing night. It was a brilliant show. It really served its purpose like brilliantly. It was packed, really good fights, loads of positive feedback from everyone that went there, and we wanted to have some good fights on the show. So one of those fights, the main title fights, was Dan Woodgate against Wadi Camacho, and I managed Dan. I've managed him for about 6 years, and for that reason, that's why I put the purse bid in. That I knew would win it, because, or I felt strongly would win it. It would have been pretty amazing if someone had outbid me, because I wanted to give Dan, not exactly as a thank, yeah, sort of as a sign of recognition that, okay, this guy's been loyal to me for 6 years. He's signed new contracts at the end of his old contracts. He's been very trustworthy and good to me to work with. He's not tried to sort of pull the wool over my eyes in any way. He's always been good. So I thought, I'm going to get that on my show. He will fight for Southern Area title, which is probably the biggest fight of his career, and it'll be on a home show. So he's not going to get like a hometown decision against him. He's not going to get put in some horrible, dirty changing room, you know, with the heat turned up to max. And he's going to have home advantages for that fight. So we go ahead. Show was really good. The fight, Dan got beat, and it's important to me that it was a good fight for the show. I'd have preferred Dan to win, obviously. He's my fighter. He's someone that I've worked with for a long time. I knew we were up against it. I think the odds were with the bookmakers. He was about 3.5 to 1, something like that, with iBet Boxing. So iBetboxing.com, in fact, odds came in on Dan. So some people fancied it. Anyway, boxes Wadi. In the lead up to the fight, I said to both boxers, right, listen, we've paid top money, better than anybody else offered. We won the purse bid. We want you to promote the fight. We want you to go on your Facebook, on your Twitter, have some photographs taken, have interviews with different journalists, this sort of thing. Wadi refused to cooperate at all. So did Steve Goodwin, neither of them. And maybe Steve's a bit bitter because he lost the purse bid, and for whatever reason, he may have decided that I mean, I called him on Saturday. I said, Steve, you know, look, I actually tweeted both of you, and you didn't do it, because he said to me, Mick, you got to understand that was what he's doing. He didn't want to promote the fight. That's up to him. As if meaning like he did want to, but he didn't promote it himself. In fact, he made no attempt at all. Which if it's the other way around, previous to this show, I would have done, because I just think it's good for the boxers if people are bidding. Again, sometimes you see a really tiny purse bid, and only one promoter bids for it, and the fighters have to fight for that tiny money for that reason. So the more people that are bidding proper money for a fight, better for the boxers, which I manage loads of boxers, so more money they make, better for me. Why I think a little bit short-sighted on Steve Goodwin's side, because there will come a time, I'm sure, where he'll win a purse bid with one of my fighters, and he'll be asking me to promote it, which prior to this event, I understand, I promote over 100 shows myself. I understand you've got to promote it in the media, social media, every way you can, PR, you've got to get it out there. And whereas before I'd have gone into it thinking, well, okay, no, this is boxing promoting. We have to all work together to a degree, even if we would rather not sometimes. We should all help each other and promote the event. Even for Wadi, look, he beats Dan Woodgate. I've got Darius Scott. I've got about 3 cruiserweights. I'd happily have made the fights with them. But now I won't, because I won't work with him, because he chose to be completely uncooperative and not put anything to sort of publicise the fight. And because of that, now we won't offer him the fights that we would. In fact, Steve Woody Goodwin came to me saying, well, how on earth would I'd be a complete idiot to let Wadi, even at the weigh-in, he wouldn't have a picture taken with Dan Woodgate.
Tell us what happened in the aftermath of the fight then, from Wadi's. I've heard something went on with Wadi when he said something.
What happened after the fight is I said to a couple of people who were at the gym, I said, right, this has happened, this is how it's unfurled. We've got our maybe sort of 20 boxers that train at the gym, of which 19 comply with everything that they have to. They're happy to do it because they got use of this great facility. That actually, the results that we've had since we've been using the gym speak for themselves. The guys that are progressing and moving forwards, and Wadi himself has benefited from that. Now he has to go to some probably little smelly gym somewhere where he won't have all the facilities here, and we'll see how good he achieves, if he can achieve to the same level as he did when he was here. Mm-hmm. But a decision was taken that Wadi, unfortunately, we're not going to have him training in the gym anymore because of the fact that he hadn't supported us. We've put a lot of help and generosity his way, and he's taken it, and when we've asked him for something, it wouldn't have cost him any money to have a picture taken. Stands there for 3 seconds, it's done. He himself chose not to do that. He walked away swearing. Well, no problem. That's your decision. I mean, he's an adult, he can do what he wants. But of course, we're not idiots. We're not a charity and we're not idiots. We're not going to it costs us money to keep the gym open. The trainers here are on wages, the heating, everything, the rates, we have to cover that. We don't mind doing it for the guys that we believe in and the guys that repay us for the faith that we put in them. We're obviously not going to do it for people that purposely go out of their way to sabotage our events. And look, I'm a match made probably at some point for every single promoter in the country. What do you think I'm going to say when promoters come to me and say, I'm thinking of making this fight with Wadi Camacho, how easy is it to work with him? Of course, I'm not going to say, yeah, great, do it. I'm going to tell them exactly what happened, and he's going to have cost himself opportunities out of that. Certainly, I won't put him on. There's only really so many promoters in the southeast that could put him on. I mean, Matchroom dropped him a while ago. Where's he going to go? Well, good luck to him, because I think he's got a battle on his hands. I certainly wouldn't put him on, and I wouldn't be interested in doing any deals with him, or just for that reason.
What would you say to the people who are believing in what he's saying and sharing his...
I've seen on Facebook all these people, but if you go through them, there's a couple of fighters that are boxers. I think they should know better, but so be it. I understood and I've been doing this now, working in boxing for 15 years, I understood very quickly, if you choose to work in boxing, you are choosing to put yourself in a position where people try and shoot you down. Many of them don't know anything about boxing. They don't know anything about business. They, probably not from what I can see of them, look like the cast out Shameless. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna worry. I'm gonna lose too much sleep over what they say. And like I say, I've had a long time of sort of getting used to it. You go on your Twitter timeline and you can see some guy sort of trying to express himself about how displeased he is with the treatment you've got. I mean, listen, I'm happy with the way I conducted myself. The boxers that work with me, ask them if I'm a good person, if I'm a bad person. I think I'm a very fair, reasonable, generous, kind-hearted person. Just because of that, it does not mean that I'm going to let people walk all over me and just go along with it, because I'm not, and I don't have to. And that's why we said, thank you, Wadi, bye-bye, see you later. The reason I sent him a text, because I tried to ring him, didn't answer the phone. I'm not going to ring him 20 times. I tried to ring him, and I had a strong feeling, do you know what? He's just sitting there looking at his phone thinking, I'll rather not answer that one. I'll just turn up on the gym on Monday morning and, you know, I'll go and speak to the trainers and I'll somehow smooth it over. But it wasn't going to happen. He was not welcome in the gym anymore. I let the trainers know, and I let him know, because he would not take the phone calls. I sent him a text, and the text had to be, I wasn't rude to him. He's publicised the text and had it shared by about 100 people on Facebook or whatever. I had no problem with what I said. What I said to him made it very clear, you're not welcome in the gym anymore. We're not going to have you training here. We're not going to let you use our facility because of the way you've conducted yourself. We've had 2 situations where he should have been thrown out of the gym anyway, with things that happened here, with disputes and, you know, arguments sort of thing. The reason that we didn't, because I said no, keep him in here, because he's fighting my guy on my show. For one, I need my show to go ahead, and I need it to be a success. I need it to be a show that people really took, wow, that was an amazing night. And we got, in fairness, we got that out of it. Secondly, I didn't want people to sort of think that I'd been a bit snidey and that I'd sort of halfway through his training camp booted him out, so he then has to go and train. So that, for me, it would have been bad form. You know, I don't like situations where people walk away sort of feeling bad about it. You know, try and be decent to it.
Well, thanks for shedding light on the matter.
No problem.
On Wadi Gate, and maybe it's something that it's behind us now and move on. Thank you very much, Mickey.
Wadi Gate is well and truly officially over. Goodbye. Thank God.
Take care.
See you next week.